PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Welcome to the show. Tonight on PCN, we bring you to a family fun day in Pembroke, a dueling piano concert in Duxbury, and to a new trampoline business in Kingston.
We also see what it takes to put on the Bradford House breakfast when PACTV hosted, and we meet the mounted police unit from the Plymouth Police Department.
Pet adoption highlights some more cats that need forever homes, and Town Talk is from Plymouth.
We begin with a reclaimed pond at Evergreen Cemetery in Kingston. The pond at the Kingston Evergreen Cemetery has been more of an eyesore than a showpiece on this historic plot of land. The Friends of Evergreen Cemetery teamed up with Mark Garrett to help return Mirror Pond to its original luster for which it was designed over 100 years ago. We stopped over to check out the progress 1 year later.
We're here at Mirror Pond in the Evergreen Cemetery in Kingston, Massachusetts. This pond, a year ago, maybe 15 months ago, was a cattail swamp. The Friends of Evergreen Cemetery, the committee that oversee the operations and maintenance of the cemetery, contracted my firm, the Garrett Group, to come in and reclaim Mirror Pond from that weedy swamp to a frog and lily pond, which was its original intent when it was designed and built over 100 years ago. There was a desire to bring this back to life. It was really a stagnating feature. I think the intent originally was that it was a place of reflection, almost a sanctuary in the cemetery. There is an individual, a private benefactor, who underwrote the work here, who has a grave site not too far from this location, not in the grave site yet, but wanted to have the pond restored to a condition of sanctuary and reflection. What we're trying to figure out is a way to get the students of the Silver Lake Regional School District involved in the maintenance, which is going to be required over the next several years to keep the weeds down. Today you see some weeds in the pond today, a lot less than there were a year ago. I'm very pleased with the 1 year outcome, but there still is room for improvement through operations and proper maintenance. I just learned today a bit of additional historical interest as to the construction of the fountain, and it was the desire of the benefactor to, in fact, keep the fountain in, as opposed to remove it and put a more modern feature in. So that is part of a mitigation program, part of an aesthetic program in the pond to help keep the weeds down and to give it an air of attractiveness and an air of reflectiveness.
On behalf of the Garrett Group, Mark especially, we as the trustees and members of the committee for the pond restoration, we want to thank him very much. He's put in a lot of hours for us. There's been a lot of phone calls, just a lot of work that he's done for us. I'm
very pleased with the way the pond looks, the way it's functioned. We've actually had water in it all year, even though we've been in a mini drought. So we're managing the water. We're attempting to manage the weeds. I will be back in here in a couple of weeks with a rake and hip waders, raking out the weeds, cleaning it up to get harvesting this year's growth.
Who doesn't love a family fun day? Over the weekend, we headed to the town landing in Pembroke for their fun day, and everyone was having a blast. It must have had something to do with director Amy Hill's enthusiasm, which was contagious. She gave us the rundown and all the goings-on. Oh, and keep your eyes peeled in this story for a certain town manager who's been on this set more than a few times. He may or may not be dressed as Indiana Jones for this event.
We have the fun day every year. It's tradition, number one. I've been here 10 to 12 years. We do it to give back to the community and to all our swimmers. For 5 weeks during the summer, we run a swim program here, 5 days a week, 5 weeks. And then we like to give back to all our swimmers to have a fun day to celebrate the end of swim lessons and the end of the summer. We pick a theme each year. This year, it's Zoo Landing. Everyone made their costumes, and we had a contest to see who won them. We start the contest with different groups. The first group, A, is 0 to 6, B is 7 to 10, C is 11 to 13, and D are lifeguards. To the costume contest, because we're zoo animals, the lifeguards made theirs, and we handed out costumes for all the patrons who came today. Then we do a contest and we give out ribbons. Then we went on to have a hula hoop contest, a jump rope one. We're gonna do land races. We are gonna do water races. We're gonna do the island races. We're gonna have the big island swim for 12 and older. They'll swim from the island out there back to the dock. We've been training all summer for this. We swim to and from the island every day. Is a half a mile there and a half a mile back. So the students are actually swimming a mile. This is a safe place for children to come and swim. The water is tested. We have lifeguards on duty 10 to 4. We're going to be on guard through Labor Day, except for the week that the students go back to school. I'd like to thank the town, the selectmen, and the town administrator, and all the patrons for supporting this program. We get our funding not just from the swim lessons, but from the budget from the town. So we're very grateful to be able to have our swim program and the fun day.
That Ed Thorne, huh? I love it that he was dressed up. That was great.
Yeah,
Good job, Ed.
I was told somebody was going to be dressed as Indiana Jones. When I got there, I was like, hey, I know this guy. And then I was really hoping to get an interview with him later on, and suddenly he disappeared.
Interesting.
Curious.
Touch base with him on that one. Well, speaking of downtown events, the Plymouth Police Department has been dispatching a mounted unit on Friday evenings during the summer months for the past few years, and the department is getting great feedback from the community. We met up with some officers on horses down at the waterfront to see firsthand how the program is working out.
You might not be imagining things if you think you hear the sound of hooves clopping as you make your way through downtown Plymouth. For the past 5 years, the Plymouth Police Department has been using a mounted patrol unit during the summer months. 2 officers are on horseback Friday nights from 4 in the afternoon until midnight. While the police still have a job to do and people to protect, the horses help serve as a great PR vehicle for the department.
Out here being visible, I think we deter crime quite a bit. But I think my favorite thing is public relations. You know, being that we're much more approachable on horse. You know, kids come up to us and talk to us. Even kids that wouldn't even talk to us in a cruiser, you know, would come up and talk to us about the horse. So, you know, in that aspect of it, that's what makes it really worthwhile.
The officers that do the downtown detail aren't rookies, but sometimes the horses are, as is the case with Sergeant Reed's horse.
John is a new horse. This is his first year. We got him in May, so he's actually progressing quite quickly, and we like his progression.
Duffy, on the other hand, has been with the force for 6 years.
They react differently. He's got a little bit more to him. He tends to observe more, needs to know what's going on around him. John's still learning, so he's just kind of focused on watching him. So it's great. They can kind of calm each other down and watch and react with each other.
It's good to put a new horse with an older, more experienced horse.
For the most part, the mounted police unit serves as a lookout for activity, but that doesn't necessarily exclude them from having to make arrests. And if you are a lawbreaker, be aware that you've got a 10-foot-tall police unit galloping after you.
Primarily, we try to be visible and eyes and ears, so we'll call in ground teams to react to things that we see. But we can effect arrests on horseback, and we've done it in the past. People just get out of your way naturally. You know, they hear us coming, and it's not even a problem. We go right through crowds where even vehicles have trouble.
In the end, this unit provides accessibility between the public and the police department.
The public just needs to know that we're out here for them, to be accessible, to ask questions. We're informative. It's a great venture. Sheriff McDonald has really made it a great adventure with a joint team with the police department, with Plymouth Police, and I think the public has really taken to it.
On the waterfront in downtown Plymouth, Brian Sullivan, PACTV Community News. PCN has found another fun outdoor activity that's making its way indoors: trampolines. The Kingston Collection is welcoming a new business to the mall, and the name of the place is Sky Zone. I bounced on over to get all the details. Down at the west end of the Kingston Collection, you may have noticed this sign. Or maybe you saw this one and wondered just what is a Sky Zone.
Sky Zone is an indoor trampoline park that started in 2004. This location will be the 108th Sky Zone open in the world. This facility will have over 150 trampolines. We will have a foam pit, Sky Slam, which is trampoline basketball.
With locations in Danvers, Boston, and Westboro, the next step for the company was to find a spot south of Boston.
We've been looking on the South Shore for quite some time now, and we just couldn't find the right spot. We looked at a couple places in Plymouth. They just didn't work for us as far as ceiling height went. Kingston Collection approached us with an offer that we just couldn't resist. The facility looked like it was really being revitalized, and the mall really has some great plans, so that's why we chose the Kingston Collection.
Storefronts in the mall can seemingly change as quickly as the weather. Mall's management is aware of this and now plans to take the mall concept in a different direction than the traditional blueprint.
When the Kingston Collection approached us, they explained how they were really going towards more of an entertainment destination for families, where it's not all small shops anymore in the mall and a couple big stores.
Of course, the first thought in my mind, and probably most parents out there, is safety. With that type of equipment and that many people using it, it just seems like an accident waiting to happen.
We really do focus on risk management. All of our core monitors are very trained in sort of first aid and CPR, and they're trained with an AED, so they are out there monitoring the safety of all the jumpers. Every person gets a rule of speech, so it's not just a free-for-all. We do separate by age so that adults aren't jumping with kids and teenagers aren't jumping with little kids. We have a toddler court for ages 4 and under, so we really do focus on risk management, but our injury rate is less than 0.08 across the board.
With the opening of the indoor park just around the corner, contractors have been working around the clock to stay on schedule. Those workers, as well as future employees, have been sourced locally.
Construction-wise, we tried to create as many local jobs as we possibly could. So we have about 6 or 7 contractors from around the area that are doing everything from painting to flooring to drywall. And as far as part-time and full-time positions go, we did hire 3 full-time managers, and we just finished our hiring 65 part-time staff members. So high school kids, college-age kids, and young adults.
Outside the Kingston Collection, Brian Sullivan, PACTV Community News.
Wow, Brian, there's a lot more construction than I anticipated. I guess not just putting one trampoline next to another in a wall. I mean, it's really going to be a neat place.
It's serious business. Yeah, I thought it was going to be, it's like we'll put a trampoline here, one here, have at it. It was more like, no, these are elevated trampolines. They're going to have, I tried to get a shot of all the flooring, and all that flooring will be padded as well, because sometimes people bounce off the trampolines. So at least they'll land onto something safe.
It's hard to picture what it's going to look like now, but maybe we can do a story once it has opening day or something like that.
We'll send you on the trampoline first.
I'll send you and you jumping on the trampolines. I know you'll do it.
No way.
The Art Complex Museum in Duxbury hosted a first-in-a-lifetime event for 2 brothers. The Freeman Brothers have been playing and conducting for decades, but have never played piano together before a crowd. PCN stopped in for this first-time event.
The Weyerhaeuser family, which founded this complex, are old friends of our families and old friends of ours. Both of our parents were professional musicians, and when we were kids and adolescents, we used to go over to the Weyerhaeusers on School Street in Milton and play chamber music concerts and sing Christmas carols. Our father joined the Boston Symphony in 1945. Was invited to do so by the then music director Serge Kuzovitsky, himself a famous double bass player. And before long, Jim and I were students at Milton Academy. And then we both went to Harvard. I have a PhD from Princeton, he from Harvard. He spent, well, he'll tell you about him. I spent most of my life directing the Eastman School in Rochester. We're both musicians, we're both generalists. I'm a scholar and an administrator. I used to be an oboist, conductor and pianist. Jim will tell you about Jim, but he does a bunch of things too on a very high professional level. We have never, I think, before played a concert like this. It was your idea that we do so, and I said, yeah, that's a good idea. Why don't we do it?
Like Bob, I'm a generalist in addition to being a pianist. I'm a conductor. Of course, I'm a teacher. I'm also a double bass player. I think one of the things we have to do is make concerts less formal all the time, for musicians to be more able to talk about their art to the audience and relate to the audience, and for unusual things to happen at concerts, for it to be more like a baseball game. When somebody hits a home run, you say, "Oh my gosh, that's incredible." Well, we need that kind of thing to be happening more at concerts, or maybe not concert is the right term. They should be more events than concerts. It's incredible and wonderful, absolutely incredible and wonderful, mind-boggling because we've never done this before, and to be playing a concert with my brother is stupendous.
PACTV teamed up with the Bradford House in Kingston for one of their Sunday breakfasts. As it turns out, preparing breakfast for over 100 people is no easy feat. Luckily, our staff at PACTV got help with some of the necessary ingredients, and we helped out the Bradford House by putting it all together.
This is the second year that PACTV has done the Bradford House breakfast, which is done every Sunday, and it's been quite a few years since we've done it. But it's a great way for us to partner with the Jones River Village Historical Society and outreach into the community. Colleen Costa, who's the president of Jones River Village Historical Society, said, "Do you guys want to sponsor the breakfast?" And we'd done it before, so we said, "Sure." And then she sent us the list, because it's kind of a daunting task to prepare breakfast to 150 to 200 people.
It's a wonderful checklist. We tell them that they have to be here about 7:15. They need to bring all of the food that they're going to deliver or going to serve. We provide them with pancake mix and eggs, coffee, tea, juices, and all the paper goods. And then they bring whatever they're going to make for the menu. And we also provide help with setting the tables up and chafing dishes and sugar and syrup if they want it or whatever. And we will give them a quick lesson on cooking if they need it.
We've got a bunch of our staff here today making wonderful breakfast. Some people are in the kitchen making scrambled eggs, pancakes, French toast, and someone's on the grill, and a bunch of people are serving breakfast. It's going to be a great day.
Our breakfasts are held every Sunday in the summer. They're the major fundraiser for the Jones River Village Historical Society. It's usually between 100 and 125 individuals show up. And a lot of times lately we have people that are having the weekend class reunion, like be 45 years, 50 years. They plan on us for their Sunday morning get-together, which is awesome. It's a nice New England Sunday morning event. They can view the house as part of their ticket. They can view Mary's Garden, which is part of their ticket. We also have a silent auction of items that members of the society donate. We are in the process of restoring one of the little cat boats. It was built by a man by the name of Shiverick, which was in the late 1800s, which is also part of our endowment. So it's really a historical area. I want to thank Carol McGilfrey and the members of PACTV for coming to support our society in the Major John Bradford House with all of their donations and their workers today. Without them, we wouldn't be able to run the house.
We had so much fun. And it was a lot of work, Carol. Everyone worked really hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of food.
They were in there cooking, and it was hot and everything. It's a lot of food. It's a lot of work. And they started on Friday in the PACTV kitchen, getting things ready. So we've been working really hard. It's a really good time.
I feel bad. I know you got me some pictures of you all making the muffins and stuff, and I didn't use them. But maybe next year, if we do it again, I'll throw those pictures in.
Okay.
All right.
Our pet adoption highlight takes us to the Friends of the Plymouth Pound to meet Harry Potter.
Hi, this is Harry Potter. Harry Potter is one of the many cats that we have available here for adoption at the Friends of the Plymouth Pound Adoption Center in Kingston. Harry Potter is an adult, neutered male, domestic short hair. He's an all black cat, as you can see. He's got a very soft, silky coat. Very sweet boy, very friendly, very affectionate. He's approximately 4 years old. He is current with all his rabies vaccinations, his distemper shots. He has been microchipped. He has been combo tested for feline AIDS and leukemia with a negative result. So he's good to go. Harry's been here for quite a little while now, so we're hoping that he can find his forever home very soon. Harry would do great. He does do great with the other cats here at the shelter, but I think he would prefer to be the only animal. He would prefer to have a quieter home. He would make a great lap cat, as you can see. He loves to be patted. The more you pat him, the more attention that he wants. This is one of his favorite things right here. He could let you groom him all day long if you wanted to. He's just a really, really sweet cat, and if you're interested in adopting him, you can fill out an application online at our website, which is friendsplymouthpound.org, or you can go to petfinder.com, type in the zip code 02364, and our website will also come up. There'll be some photos of Harry Potter and a little biography telling you a little bit more of information about him. So come on down. He would make someone a great companion. These two little kitties are two new arrivals here at Friends of the Plymouth Pound. The orange one is about 4 months old. He's a orange tiger, male. And a little frisky girl over here. As you can see, she's a calico tortie mix, and she's the same age. They'll both be going in to be spayed and neutered within the next month or so. They have had their first shots of rabies, distemper. They will be microchipped when they get spayed and neutered. And they have tested for feline AIDS and leukemia as well, and they have tested negative. So they are just waiting for their forever home. As you can see, they are very frisky and playful, and come on by and fill out an application and find your new best friend.
Town Talk brings us to Plymouth Town Hall for an update.
Hi, I'm Melissa Irigi, the Plymouth Town Manager. There's a lot happening in the community, and we appreciate everyone's patience on all the travel problems you've been having. We've heard about them here, and the selectmen have as well. Let's start as we move around the town. From Water Street, as you're coming up and taking a left off Water Street, heading north, we understand that that area is still ripped up. We are trying to work closely with the state, because that it is a state project that the town has participated in. Certainly many of you have heard Selectman Malaguti talk about his frustrations with how long that area is taking, as well as all the way up Samoset Street. I can assure you we are doing everything we can to move the state along in this process. We have staff down there every day. It seems like they've picked up the pace now. We're hoping to be on time and out of that area by the Labor Day weekend, but we apologize that this took all summer long for this project. In addition, many of you know we're working up the other end of Samoset Street on a sewer expansion. That's an important project for all of you, as it really is going to affect flow to the wastewater treatment plant that you built years ago that really is underused for its capacity. That sewer project is on time, on budget right now. It seems like the company is doing a very good job working with our staff, and we have high hopes that project will be finished actually a little earlier than anticipated, at least at this point. We have other construction projects going on in town. The town has been working in different areas of the community, but mostly in the downtown area. You saw that we were doing a project, the utility companies were doing a project in front of Town Hall, 11 Lincoln Street. Certainly that held up traffic a little bit for a couple weeks, but that project should be completely finished. And we anticipate that we'll be doing one more project in the north end of Plymouth sometime starting soon, so please bear with us. Finally, I'd like to just mention that Dinah O'Brien, our Community Resources Director that many of you know, who has been working for the town of Plymouth and dedicated for 22 years, has announced her retirement. She'll be leaving us at the start of the new year, so I'd just like to thank her for all her work here and encourage all of you to do the same.
We at PCN want to invite all of our volunteers out. Please come on out, you guys. We really support young people coming on the show and helping us learn all kinds of positions. We have camera, we have teleprompter, we have directing, we have switching, and we try to rotate everybody and give them a great experience here. And we want to thank everybody for all their time this summer, and as school's coming back, so they're all going to be leaving us, so thank you. And thank you for watching this week's show. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also find repeat dates and links to PACTV's website. We'll see you next week for more community news.